To become financially successful, you don't need a red diploma. Much more important, it's choosing the right behavioral strategy. Someone can earn 3 university degrees and stay poor. Someone else with no degree earns millions. In managing money, behavior plays a key role. Behavior affects every sphere of life, your personal capital, and even the country's economy. At the same time, cash flow is hard to analyze and plan. In this video, we'll do a brief overview of Morgan Housel's book, The Psychology of Money, and discuss the most important chapters. Chapter 1. No one's crazy. Our ideas about money and the world in general have little to do with objective reality. We mostly draw conclusions from our past experiences, and everyone's experience is different. If your country has gone through repeated economic crises and inflation, you'll be biased against saving. You'll fear your money will lose value and try to spend what you've saved. But someone living with a stable currency won't have those fears and will treat saving more optimistically. 2 equally rational people, 2 countries, 2 different views on money. Before the pandemic, the average Australian couldn't imagine the consequences of an economic crisis. He'd never faced one. You can read statistics and search online, but that's not the same as lived experience. People handle money according to their unique behavioral model, reinforced for years by their environment. To some, a certain purchase looks insane. To others, it's a great investment. Neither of us is crazy. Our decisions are backed by our unique personal histories. Chapter 2. Luck and Risk. Ask a successful entrepreneur how he succeeded, and you'll likely hear about hard work and sacrifice. That's often true, but there's another side we can't control: luck and risk. These 2 factors lie beyond our influence. This doesn't mean we leave everything to fate. Hard work and sacrifice are part of success, not the whole of it. People talk about Bill Gates' success and innovation. He attended Lakeside, an elite private school. In the 1960s, only that school had a computer, a Teletype Model 33. It shaped Gates's interest in computing. He was even exempted from math to spend more time on computer science. Gates admitted, without Lakeside, there might be no Microsoft. But Gates wasn't the only talented student. His friends Paul Allen and Kent Evans were also gifted. It seemed all 3 were destined to succeed. But before graduation, Kent Evans died in an accident. Some events are beyond control. We see the final result, but not the backstory. Likewise, we can't fully assess the risk investors take. Today, you see a large, successful corporation, once backed by a powerful investor. But at the time, it was a risky bet. He went into debt and took a chance on the company's future. What does success depend on? Partly luck, partly talent. We're forced to take risks to give our money a better use. Summary of Chapter 2. 1. Not everyone succeeded through hard work. And not every failure means laziness. Keep that in mind when judging yourself or others. 2. Don't model your life on outliers. Exceptions rarely apply in practice. Many stunning successes were random and risky. 3. Things aren't as good or as bad as they seem. Given the role of risk and luck, be less harsh with yourself and learn to go with the flow. Chapter 3. It's never enough. To what extremes do the rich go? Many want to be rich, but what does that mean? How rich is rich enough? At a party hosted by a billionaire in Shelter Island, writers Kurt Vonnegut and Joseph Heller spoke. Vonnegut noted the billionaire made more in a day than Heller made from his novel. Heller replied, "Maybe he does, but at least I can enjoy what I have." There's no happiness in the race for money. Wealth, a huge house, power, all can be lost overnight through greed. The author tells the story of Rajat Gupta. Orphaned as a teen, he later earned a Harvard master's and became McKinsey's managing director. By 2008, his net worth was about $100 million, but it wasn't enough. During the 2008 crisis, Warren Buffett decided to invest $5 billion. Key points of Chapter 3. 1. The hardest thing is knowing when to stop. As goals escalate, you take unjustified risks. Real happiness is being content with what you have, not what might be. 2. Comparison is torture. There's always someone richer or more successful. Focus on your path, not others. 3. Don't risk everything on one bet. Reputation, freedom, independence, family, friends, priceless. Chasing money can destroy them. Chapter 4. Compounding. There are many investing books, e.g. How Warren Buffett Built His Fortune. Today, his wealth is $86.5 billion. He's a phenomenal investor, but the secret isn't just picking stocks. Buffett has been investing since his teens. About 90% of his wealth comes from investment compounding over time. The main secret is time. Successful investing isn't always chasing max returns. Max return is often short-lived. Successful investing is getting a steady return you can rely on for a long time. As Charlie Munger said, the first rule of compounding, never interrupt it. Chapter 5. Getting rich versus staying rich. Gurus tell you how to get rich, but few teach how to stay rich. 2 traits help: frugality and a healthy paranoia. To get rich, you take risks, are optimistic, and put yourself out there. To stay rich, you stay modest and remember you can lose it anytime. Compounding is like growing a tree. After a year, barely visible. After 10, first results. After 50, something extraordinary. But to reach greatness, you must endure a bumpy road. Chapter 6. You can profit from mistakes. This chapter tells of Heinz Berggruen, the famous investor and art collector. He invested heavily in art and built a huge collection, yet only a small part was truly valuable. So he wasn't a perfect connoisseur, but a few masterpieces made him very wealthy. Remember the Pareto principle, 80-20. Seasoned investors know, of 100% invested, perhaps 20% of positions bring profit. A tiny portion becomes massively successful. Warren Buffett admitted he owned shares of around 400 companies in his life. Only about 10 drove most of the gains. That's reality. Look at Netflix series. Only a fraction are hits. Failure is natural. Not every project must be 100% successful. Chapter 7. Freedom. The author shares his dream of becoming an investment banker. He got the dream job and immediately saw why they're highly paid. They work without looking up. He felt important and well paid, but soon realized he couldn't stay a slave to his boss. No breaks, growing misery. He lasted 1 month. Even the job you love becomes hateful if you're forced to do it. You no longer control your time. What you loved starts to repel you. The best feeling is knowing you control your time. The path to happiness seems individual, but one thing is universal. People are happier when they control their lives and make their own decisions. Extra income is tempting, but often a trap. You get caught in a money work loop and lose the most important thing, freedom. The freedom to control your time. Chapter 9. Wealth is invisible. It's hard to judge how wealthy someone is. Appearances deceive. Don't trust those who show off wealth. It sounds simple, but it's true. The only way to keep wealth is not to spend it. Often, I want to be a millionaire actually means I want to spend $1 million. They're opposites. Wealth isn't for show. It's for keeping and compounding. Wealth gives options, flexibility, growth. Buy what you need, but living in flashy luxury so others see your status is the fastest way to lose money. Chapter 13. The margin for error. Think about what can go wrong. Mentally plan your actions if things fail. You must leave room for error. Putting all your eggs in one basket is going all in. No diversification, no backup plan. If it fails, there's no way out. The biggest mistake is living paycheck to paycheck, having no savings, spending on junk. Unexpected expenses happen anytime. We say we're saving for a car or retirement, but tomorrow is unknown. You must budget and keep a buffer. Chapter 14. You change. Planning looks easy. It isn't. Everything changes. In 10 years, you will be different. The world will be different. That doesn't mean planning is useless. It means act wisely, so you won't regret later. The author recalls a friend who dreamed of being a doctor since childhood and achieved it, only to later regret the choice and say he wouldn't do it again. Psychology calls this the end of history illusion. People recognize how much they've changed from the past, but refuse to believe they'll change in the future. We think we're at our final form, but we're changing every minute. Environment, thinking, priorities. An idea that seemed brilliant 10 years ago may look terrible today. So think 3 times before putting money into a long-term commitment. Chapter 15. Nothing is free. Everything has a price, even if there's no price tag. Ask yourself, what will this decision cost me? How much does success cost? And are you ready to pay? Words are cheap. Reality is harder. To be a successful investor, prepare to pay not with money, but with fear and worry over market volatility. Returns don't fall into your lap. They cost emotional stress. The secret is accepting uncertainty as part of the deal. Before any new project, ask, am I willing to pay this price? Chapter 16. You and I. You and I have different future plans, shaped by our perception, experience, and goals. So be careful following others' footsteps. History is full of bubbles that ruined families and investors. Often the reason was investors blindly copying other investors. Short-term and long-term investors have different goals. Be extremely careful when copying someone's strategy. Know your goals and intentions. Pick the strategy that fits you. Chapter 17. The Allure of Pessimism. Have you noticed how tragic news attracts people? Pessimism sells. Negativity sounds convincing. The author mentions an article by Russian professor Igor Panarin in the Wall Street Journal, predicting the collapse of the USA in 2010. Headlines like that hit the front page of prestigious newspapers. Pessimism helped humans survive evolutionarily. Being alert to danger saved lives. But improvement and progress require optimism. Need, survival, and the pursuit of profit push people to adapt and find solutions. Need breeds innovation. Imagine reading, days after World War II, that Japan would become a leading economy. Time proved it true. Despite total collapse, Japan rebuilt and became a major power. A human response to hardship. The human factor is often ignored. Without optimism, problems aren't solved. If you want more on the psychology of money, click the link and watch our video on the 3 most common money mistakes.